Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Highness Sayyid As'ad affirms during Dukum's third economic forum that the Sultanate is on the right track towards diversification of income and development of non-oil sectors. The Council of Administrative Affairs for the Judiciary discusses enhancing work environment in the Sultanate through contract enforcement. And the Omani-Turkish Joint Committee approves a number of agreements to improve trade and investment between the two countries. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Sultanate will lead tourism sector in the region due to its rich environmental potentials, mainly the beaches, the increased investment in hotel infrastructure that was revealed by the former Malaysian Prime Minister Mohammed Mahathir during the opening of the third Dukum Forum, the community and economy. The forum sheds light on the investment in the Sultanate in general and Dukum zone in particular. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for Relations and International Cooperation, His Majesty's Special Representative, presided over the inauguration event. The economic transformation in the region requires benefiting from successful experiences by some countries' top aspects of the third Dukum Forum. Other aspects included the extent to which institutions can market the Sultan's natural resources for investment and the economic fields best suited to investors in Dukum. The former Malaysian Prime Minister, the most prominent speaker in the forum, reviewed his country's experience in terms of diversification and how he managed to make it one of the major countries, adding that the Sultan's elements are similar to his country's resources and how government facilitates in different sectors can be an engine for rapid investment. The first session of the forum discussed investment opportunities and economic diversification vision in the Sultanate. It also focused on touristic sector, obstacles and solutions that should be encountered in its development. The session also displayed tax facilitations in the region and the national labor. The second session displayed the Malaysian experience. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Mahathir, former Malaysian Prime Minister, called to intensify efforts between the Sultanate and Malaysia to provide joint work opportunities which could lead to increasing the trade and investment exchange between the two countries. He also urged Islamic countries to concentrate on security, stability and welfare, stressing that the democracy should not be practiced through violence and disorder, calling to the necessity of understanding limits of freedom and democracy. The Sultanate advanced 3 positions in global rankings at the Index of Practicing Business Activities. This was revealed in the Seminar of Contracts Enforcement within the practices of facilitating businesses. The seminar, organized by Council of Administrative Affairs for the Judiciary, clarified also the application of e-system in providing and following legislations at the first instance court, in addition to have a private room for lawyers where they can study the case, its time and decision taken on it. The seminar, in its conclusion, mentioned that the Sultanate, according to the World Bank, is the least expensive compared to other countries, where the average time taken to close a business case in the Sultanate is around 600 days from the start of its registration. Improving trade and investment business, the Sultanate and Turkey was on the top of the meeting, which was held in the start of the work of the joint Omani and Turkish committee in its 10th round. The meeting included the approval of a number of agreements between the two sides. It as well discussed expanding cooperation in the field of telecommunication, marine and land transport, in addition to strengthening cooperation in the field of agriculture, fishing and mining. The Turkish side mentioned that around 20 businessmen from Turkey will arrive in the Sultanate to discuss investment opportunities with their counterparts. The Omani side introduced a number of investment opportunities in various economic zones in the Sultanate. The Omani side at the meeting was chaired by His Excellency Yahya bin Saeed Al Jabri, Chairman of the Board of Directors of Special Economic Zone Authority in Duqm, while the Turkish side His Excellency Mohammed Shamshak, Deputy Prime Minister of Turkey. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Thai Expo begins in Muscat today. That will last for 5 days. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Shura Council office got acquainted with a number of ministerial responses in the field of sports, health, consumer protection, transport and communications. The office discussed queries on activating the role of sports centers in the Sultanate and the Ministry of Sports Affairs plans to strengthen marketing strategy for sports clubs and federations. It as well discussed requests of the Ministry of Health in a number of salaries of foreign nurses working in the Sultan's hospitals, in addition to acquainting with Public Authority for Consumer Protection's response on a comparative prices study between the Sultanate and the GCC on the prices of imported commodities from the United States of America, like motor vehicles. The meeting also dwelt on the parliamentary questions asked to the Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs on the mechanisms of getting rid of wastes of pharmaceuticals factories in the Sultanate. Strengthening Omani and British relations in the field of defense, top discussions of the meeting of His Excellency Mohammed bin Nasser Al Rasbi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense, with Rear Admiral Tony Radkin, Commander of the United Kingdom Maritime Forces, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. During the meeting, cordial talks were exchanged and issues of mutual concern were discussed. The active establishment covered by social insurance system increased to more than 16,700 establishments. The noticeable increasing came due to expanding youth desire to open their own private institutions, which resulted an increase in the number of active insured people at private sector to more than 217,000. Installing GPS devices via satellites on 13 turtles of Rimani kind in Al Halaniyat Island in the Governorate of Dhofar to know their migration path is the project adopted by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs. The project aimed to study natural habitat that marine turtles nest, lines of their migration and places of their fed. The project came in cooperation with a team from the American Fish and Wildlife Authority. The second Thai Expo began in Muscat today with the participation of hundreds of exhibitors with their most prominent local products. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan Al Rahbi.
In its second edition, the 5-day Thai Expo began today with the participation of more than 150 exhibitors, offering the most prominent local Thai products.
We would like to present all of our Oman people and everyone who travel here to know Thailand more, because we use all kind of the product from Thailand. It is original.
The exhibition consists of several sections, some of which are targeting businesses that seek to make their presence in the Omani market through local partnerships. It also includes textiles, perfume products, healthcare products, natural herbs, accessories, and furniture. In addition, Thai mega medical complexes are taking their part in the exhibition.
Come here from Thailand to Oman to do business relationship between Thailand and Oman. We bring our products and culture.
At this exhibition, we can find some herbs, some trades, coffees, and different kinds of tea that I have never heard of even. And so this will improve the relationship between the two countries in the trading market.
The Thai Expo witnesses the participation of tourism companies that offer itineraries to Thailand, in addition to theatrical shows displaying the Thai heritage. This exhibition represents a golden opportunity to sign commercial deals between businessmen from the Sultanate and Thailand. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
A meeting of Arab Regional Branch of International Council of Archives concluded its meeting, in which His Excellency Dr. Hamid Dawiani was elected for the second time as its chairman. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rabai.
Under the theme Towards Archival Standards, a two-day symposium on archives and records management, followed by a joint meeting hosted by the Sultanate, where General Assembly renewed its trust to grant His Excellency Dr. Hamid Dawiani, Chairman of the National Document and Archives Authority of the Sultanate, the second term as a Chairman of Arab Regional Branch of International Council of Archives in the presence of member countries. Renewing the trust to His Excellency Dr. Dawiani is due to his exerted efforts throughout his term. Since its establishment, His Excellency worked hard to achieve the Council's planned objectives to build an integrated system for managing documents as well as preservation of historical records and documents. The authority's participation, represented by the chairman in various events related to documents and archives, and its membership in the Gulf Regional and International Archives Organization, has played a great role in nominating him. During the two-day symposium, work papers were presented by the experts, and members discussed archives and society, interdisciplinary internationality, and bridging bridges. The symposium has given opportunity to increase knowledge on managing archives, preservation and protection of archival records, issues of conservation, restoration, electronic archives, as well as obligations that will sufficiently educate the archival staff and experts. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rabai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of North Sharqiya celebrated honoring winners at the competition of Holy Quran memorizing for the current academic year. The ceremony included providing models of winning recitations in addition to visual show entitled "My Quran is My Secret of My Stability," besides honoring of top winners. Oman Refineries and Petroleum Industries Company signed an agreement with the fourth batch of students of the International Private Scholarship Program of ORPIC. According to the agreement, the company will train and qualify the young students of Governorate of North Al-Batna. The agreement states that the company will send the students to one of the world-renowned universities to continue their studies in fine technical disciplines. The Ministry of Education held a ceremony to honor 64 male and female students to excel in their academic attainment and educational activities for the schools in the Wilaya of Kuryat in the Governorate of Muscat. The ceremony included performances presented by students of the Wilaya, showcasing the value of knowledge and the role of a teacher and family in upgrading the educational process. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of cloud accumulation over Hajar Mountains. Low clouds and fog are expected over the governorates of South Sharqiya and Worcester. Winds will be westerly to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Highness Sayyid As'ad affirms during Dukham's third economic forum that the Sultanate is on the right track towards diversification of income and development of non-oil sectors. The Council of Administrative Affairs for Judiciary discusses enhancing work environment in the Sultanate through contracts enforcement. And the Omani-Turkish Joint Committee approves a number of agreements to improve trade and investment between the two countries. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.